Hey, who do we got on Zoom?
Greg and Carol, looks like.
Oh, thanks for coming. We're going to test out the sound system. I want to try and get this tablet hooked into the new speakers.
Sounds great so far.
Yes, we no longer have the wires dripping down.
Yeah, that'd be bad.
Not mean he's got it put all the way.
Oh, yes, yes.
And it looks a lot nicer than it did.
Yeah, I was so burnt out the other day at the chamber event. I started asking him when he's going to come and do it. He already did. So let's see, can we get Bluetooth, WSIC speakers connecting? Hey, Greg?
Yes.
It says the WSIC speakers are connected for audio, but it's not, you're not coming over the speakers yet. Keep talking.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. A, B, C. That's as high as I can count. E, F, G. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yellow, white, blue, green.
Why is it not? Okay, let me see.
I'm going to keep going until you tell me to shut up.
Mhm.
1, 2, 3, 4, 25, 17, 8. Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberties and justice for all.
So that should be doing it. Yeah, it's saying Matthew's tablet.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Cow, moose, donkey, cat, birds.
So it's saying Matthew's tablet
1,
is connected.
3, 4,
Let me test something else from my tablet and see.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Something's happening here. What it is, I'm not exactly clear.
That's not it. Okay.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
Let me
8,
do this.
9, 10. 1, 2, 3. Testing. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay. Well, then let's try something else.
We good?
Nope. We're
Nope.
gonna try something else. Just keep going.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
And for what?
7, 8, 9, 10. Test. 9, 8, 7, 5, 4.
Testing.
I can hear you fine.
All right. So this microphone, we can hear it out there on the speakers, right?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12,
So
14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
what is going on?
Blast off. 2, 3, testing. 1, 2. My cat wants to know what's going on. 1,
Yeah.
2, 3,
I've got a
4,
mic next to it and it's still not going out on the speakers.
7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm sorry, kitty. 1,
You
3.
can hold up for a bit. All right, I'm gonna try something else.
Okay.
Let's disconnect audio on here.
She's not used to having to be talked so much.
Can you hear me, Greg?
Yes, I can hear you fine.
It's still not coming through.
Loud and clear.
I think we can't drink the water. We have to run through the filter picture before we drink it.
How about now?
Yes, I can hear you now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Third.
They got a lot of wells. You have to do this. Go to the hospital. They got to do, there's about 3 or 4 different ways. And it kind of depends on the premise. A lot of times the air is right in the living room numbers and the bushes. It's odd, yeah, if you want to, but that's the interesting project that they able to get. How it goes to the water runs to Bremerton. When water pipes are in there, that collapsing and the front from the ground seeps into the pipes. And they took a lot of that out. I had one right in my backyard. Couldn't figure out what those fire wrap cedar chunks were down in the outlet bank. Oh, that's the old water system. Why the water system has been, well, that's because maybe the city, they ran the water main, part of it, through Navy Yard 6. When Navy Yard 6 transferred over, so it was using city water, even though they were only county. And there was a bunch of wells already here in Navy Yard 6, a bunch of still grandfathered in, and people were still using water from the drains and the streets. I think that when the water next to your mom. Yeah, I think she had one of the last wells. Back on the most. Well, it's all the water, it's the storm water in, storm water.
Sewer. Yeah, that fence right, was very, they paid. Fourth one, like, Fair. And then they got the big storage tank up by Rolling Hill Golf Course. And I don't think they ever flushed it. You can tell in the summertime, the water gets there.
Pairing? It says pairing. What are you pairing with?
Well,
That big water tank.
Well, Bremerton has terrible water.
What?
When they flush it at our place, because the water is usually when I fill my white there.
And all the dirt. That's like totally terrible. Sick water. Ice. When they flush the water main in Navy Yard City. Before we filmed the inline, which was small hole in it.
Well, the way they, in Manatee, anyway, you've got your, hydrants for the water thing. And then it goes down, and the last person on that
It's all
line
the downhill.
has no water pressure at all, if anyone uses the water. I end up didn't be the one at the end. And then my next door neighbor has the beginning of another. And they go, oh, well, you have a depth, you have, we checked at the source, and they go, yeah, but I'm the last one on the. And
If anybody's watering the wall, forget it.
we don't do that much watering the lawn at all.
Not anymore.
Well, the water is the cheapest part, it's the bill, bill's all locked in. You know, it's $21 a month for your storm water, and the, you know, sewer is never gonna get less than $13.
That's because, Jarstead didn't put the paperwork in time for the federal grant that they were supposed to have.
Well,
So
it
we
used
have
to
to
be- it
pay
used to
for
it used to be a lot cheaper. You know,
Oh,
but,
I know.
You know, they used to pay it every 2 months, so it happened, you know, but then they started paying it every month. You know, because I think what happened is the city of Bremerton gave all the water to McCormick Woods. You know, they wanted to get recovered money from McCormick Woods. They can't charge the water district in the state of Washington, give water to another place, you can't charge it. Water, but their people are paying. So I think that was all they did, get more water and money out of McCormick Woods.
All right, apologize for the delay. We've had some critical members of our team had some last minute, very serious shocks. So they will not be able, they have not been able to help with the preparation for the meeting. So we call the meeting to order. Let's get a roll call of the officers. Sure, I know what I'm doing.
Where do you live in Manhattan?
There we go.
Nicholas Chapman used to be.
Yeah.
If we stand down there and throw a rock straight up, you hit my garage.
Higher you're gonna be up less pressure.
No, there's higher people higher than us. But they have better pressure than I. Because they have that whole apartment complex. They have the water pressure up.
Kayla, are you there? I see you, Kayla. Kayla, I saw you in the notes. Are you taking notes for this meeting?
Good with it.
Yes, I plan to. I didn't find the agenda, but I was just going to make notes as we go and then put it into the format later. If that
would
might
be
work.
great. That would be
Okay,
great at this point, because yeah, that's exactly what we need.
Okay,
All right,
sounds
I will
good.
get the flag and we will have our flag salute.
Anyway, the filters that were in the rain shed were in a box in the office. Somebody threw them away. So the stainless steel ones that are in there are the ones I got from Bar Greens and Ellington. They're only like 1 3/4 inches thick. So, wood chip from, and it's supposed to be 19.5.
I believe people can see that online. Sort of. Here, let me turn off my background. There we go. All right. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I will call the officers. President Matthew Barrett here.
Brandy Wallace, treasurer here.
Secretary Kayla Sullivan here.
Is Sandra not coming?
Chandra's not.
Now we're at the board. Sally Gill, board here.
Susie Mapes.
Board.
So we have Sally, Susie, myself, Kayla, and Brandy. I believe that's a quorum. That's 5.
But this is a board meeting, it's a general meeting.
Yeah, but we can't take board actions and stuff without having a quorum here. That actually limits our ability to hold general meetings. Let's see, the previous meeting minutes, were those emailed out? Okay, Chandra was not able to do that.
Oh, it should have been. Is she secretary?
Well, she's still learning her role. So let's see, I need to get previous board meeting minutes. Let me take a look. Let's do it this way.
Or I can email them to you
Yeah,
if that would be helpful.
yes, that would be great. Email those to me and let's see. You've got a copy there?
Yeah, but this is the agenda, so the minutes are different than the agenda.
Okay.
Really took notes.
Yeah.
How about sending them out delayed sometime this next week, so we'll have them.
Okay. Yeah, we can have those sent out sometime this next week. That sounds good to me.
So we'll table the vote on them.
Yeah,
Okay.
tabling the vote on that. And I'm guessing we're also going to need to table the membership acceptance because our membership committee chair is not available. What do we have by way of communications? Anyone received communications on behalf of the club? This is going to be a short meeting.
Well, communication should also go to
I did receive input from the Washington State Nonprofit Corporation with the change of voting that went on with the new requirements. Also, Gambling Commission has changed a bunch of the rules for bingo, pull
Mhm.
tabs, and raffles. In the next 6 months, probably they'll have those firmed up, but we may end up having to pay more for bingo licensing and taxes.
Okay. Good
It
enough.
wasn't directed towards West Side Improvement Club. I'm also for nonprofit for NARC. So,
Right.
and I'm still on the list for Secretary of State for nonprofit.
Mhm.
I didn't bring a copy of the report. I got computer virus going on again.
Go ahead.
I had asked if
Mhm.
I'm not sure if that's something that we should sign up for, because they have some days, like first Thursday of this a kids day, and we usually have a more focus for kids activities.
This is the farmer's market at Evergreen Park.
And it's free for nonprofits, so it would just be some volunteers, some flyers, maybe an activity just to get them.
If we set up a table there, anyone here willing to staff it?
Let's find the place to start.
Well, you can set up at 2:30.
Okay.
And then we're
All right, thank you, Susie.
Trailers won't be there.
Let us know what the staffing needs are. You can get us started, but if it becomes a problem, to be doing that, is it every week?
it is every week, but there are certain dates of the year that are just for kids.
Mm.
They have information booths as well as the fruit, vegetables and vendors.
Okay. Yeah, get with the executive director and she'll get you some stuff that you can use to.
Yeah, I let her know that, I sent her the link online.
Like, do we have to have a tent? An awning? To go with our stuff,
It all depends on the weather.
right?
There's a bunch
Yeah,
of trees,
so-
bunch of trees down there, so you're protected.
We
So-
have some canopies that we use for the haunted house. So it'd be good to see those getting some multiple use. Let us know what else you need. Any other communications?
Anybody have a key to the mailbox to look? Or is it in the office? Probably not.
The treasurer can make that part of the treasurer's report, anything that she's received for that. We'll have to skip the rental report. A rental manager is not here. Do we have a treasurer's report?
Yes, and I did email that to the secretary for her to have for her notes, as well as the main club email account.
Okay.
Don't believe I was at the last meeting, so I'm reporting the balance, income and expenses for January and February. As of today, the balance, March 6th for the general account is $6,638.28. There was a transfer of $7,000 in January from the bingo account into the general account, cover the day-to-day operations. There was a discovery of some funds in February that I think it was end of January, early February, that was actually being kept in our QuickBooks account online versus being transferred to our Bank of America account. So that $8,463.56 was transferred from QuickBooks into the Bank of America account. I'm working to categorize those funds. Most of those funds are going to be either event table fees, rentals, or membership. So once I get that 8,400 allocated to the current categories, I'll provide an update to the membership at the April's meeting. Right now we have, am I able to share my screen? Maybe that might be helpful. I'm just reading off my sheet. So let me
Yes.
see if I can-
Go ahead.
Let me see if I have the ability to do that. Okay, so who's the host? I need the host to allow me to share.
The host needs to enable screen sharing. Oh dear. Because the host isn't here.
Hmm,
I may have to log in under the host account. Let me try that. I'll try and do that from my phone. And then I'll be able to give you that permission.
Okay, so while you're doing that, I'll keep reading it. Like I said, the secretary has it for her notes, and I believe they posted on the web. I'm not quite sure. But for January expenses for the general account, total expenses for January was $8,208.75. Since it's been a while since I did a detailed report, I'll go ahead and seems like it might be a light meeting to do so. Read the categories of the expenses of that 8,000. So utilities was $2,406.38. Janitorial supplies, again, this is just for January, out of the general account was $1,369.82. Office supplies, $141.35. Event supplies, $16.35. Permits, licenses, and fees category was $809.61. That the bulk of that, I believe, 700 of it was the fire inspection, fire extinguisher inspection. And then we did have a rental return deposit of $400. We also purchased some daubers of $464.33. Advertising, $989.43. That is 800 of it was for the value pack. And then $37.46 to partake in the Zoom meetings. And then there was a charge from PayPal of $62.10. I'm assuming that's just our fee. There's some purchasing that I have to get together with the executive director to just gather up the receipts of what that actual purchase was.
You have screen sharing ability.
Oh, yay. Okay, so hold on, let's see. Share. What I'm going to share with you. I'm going to share this Word document. Okay, so can you see this?
No.
And just so that I know what you're seeing, do you see it all the way down to the start of income of 988?
Just a moment.
I can't tell what you guys see. Oh, I know what I can do. I can look at my screen.
Here.
Let's see. Hold on.
All right, you're not sharing your
Failed.
screen yet.
Has failed. Okay, so let me see. Share. Oh my gosh, has fair. Okay, well, got up here again. Share screen. Let's try this again. All right, it's not letting me. I was supposed to do an update, and of course I canceled in the middle of it because it was taking forever, and so that's probably the reason why. Kayla, are you able to share that Word document that I sent out on your screen?
I can try.
I
Did you
emailed
send it to
it.
me as well?
Yeah, it's on the, do you have access to the club, the West Side Improvement Club email? That's who I sent it to.
Yes. Yes, I'll do it from here.
Okay,
See how that goes.
okay.
Got a red shirt to wear to Myra's.
So that was the expenses for January, and I'll go ahead and read the income for January. Again, this is for the main
Okay.
account.
Oh, we'll have to get one.
Gentlemen,
Main account income, $988.99. Again, this is just for the month of January. We received $418.75 of income for daubers. Membership, $38.24. No rental money, and then miscellaneous $532. That I need to categorize, which I believe there is membership, and then event table fees in that 532. So I'll have that broken down to you guys the next meeting. So if we were to be on a cash basis from month to month, we would have been in the negative $7,219.76 for January out of the general account.
hey, wait a second. Let me find out. I need to be sharing what you're talking about.
Okay.
So can you see the screen?
Right here.
Up and down.
Yeah. So is that what you just reported?
What? I don't see anything.
Right there.
Negative $7,219?
Yes.
Okay. So that brings us into February.
Yes. So February expenses, $7,166.12. Utilities, $1,342.16. Janitorial supplies, $711.86. There were no office supplies or event supplies or permit license and fees or building maintenance for February. Payroll was $2,152.07. Did I mention payroll of? I think I skipped payroll of $1,075.51 for January. Sorry about that. Rental return deposits were $2,150. The volunteer secretary monthly fee of $30 was caught up and paid at the end of February. There was no dollar purchases for that month. Advertising is $89.51. That is what we paid monthly to get advertised in the yellow pages that is done online and in the printed book that advertises rentals, bingo. I think there's 2 other categories. So that's what that monthly fee is for. PayPal, $60.06. I assume that is a purchase of some sort. I have to get with the executive director to find out what that purchase is for. And then $545.46 for the charge to do the payroll and taxes for the club. And then $25 for the raffle that was won last month that went to Kayla. Income for the club was $2,882.10. Again, this is for February. We received $249.50 for the Daubers, $19.12 for membership. The reason why that is category, the reason why it's $19.12 is when they pay online through the city or through the club's website. The service provider that collects that money charges a fee. So most likely they paid the $20, and then by the time we had to pay the fee to the third party, our of that $20, we actually only get $19.12. So that's what that is for.
Makes sense.
Yeah, no rental money. And then a website transfer. Again, I have to get together with the executive director to figure out what those website transfers are. Most likely they're event table fees and membership. I'm just gonna have to get that broken down and categorized so that way you guys have an accurate count of what it is that you're getting. PayPal transfer again, $86.73. That's just how people are paying their membership or rental tables. And then the $2,274.54, that was a big deposit. Bulk of it was membership, and then there was 2 big rentals. One of $1,200 and the other one at $1,040. So that is what that is. I just received the paperwork on that, so I'll get that categorized. So some rental money, that's good. That came in for February. So expenses were $7,166, income $2,882. If we were on a cash basis for February, we would be in the negative of $4,284. So the reason why we're not in the negative, and if you remember, I said that the balance in the checking account is $6,638. That's because I did the transfer from bingo of $7,000 and then that $8,463. The bulk of that money, I can tell you, will probably be counted towards 2022 funds, because I think they were just holding in there that whole year. There may be some January funds that will be accounted into these numbers, but I suspect the bulk of it, 90% of it's going to be 2022 funds. So that is the general fund accounts detail reporting. Any questions before I move on to the bingo account?
What was the final balance on the general account at the end of February?
As of today, March 6th, the account balance in the checking account is $6,638.28.
Okay.
And then I'll go ahead into the bingo account. The balance for the bingo account as of today is $25,191.25. again, because I haven't reported in detailed numbers last month or in February, I'll go ahead and run through these numbers. So January income for bingo was $25,692. Again, this is just for January. I have it broken down by the bingo, which is the, I don't know, I just call them the bingo sales, the papers, $22,838.50. And then we had between the kitchen sales and soda machine, we received $2,853.50 for that. That's where the $25,692 of revenue came in from January. Expenses were $24,609.34. That $24,000 does not include the $7,000 that I transferred out. That is just the day-to-day operations for January expenses. So that $24,000 is broken down into $3,418.38 for kitchen supplies. That's the food, basically. We pay taxes out of the bingo account. That is your PFMLA, which is your Paid Family Medical Leave Act. That is your LNI, Labor and Industries. That's your Employment Security and federal employment taxes for having employees. So that's what those taxes are. And that is fourth quarter taxes, because those were due February 1st. And so they, let me see here. So those were February's taxes. And they probably cleared the account, or excuse me, fourth quarter taxes, and they just cleared the account at the end of January. That's where that's come into play. Payroll for bingo for January was $14,825. Again, transfer of $7,000 out of the bingo account into the general account. I just have it marked here just so you see all the expenses, but that does not, it's not included in that $24,000. Let's see, bingo payout was $600 for that month. Janitorial supplies was $55.80. Bingo supplies, $2,094.86. The bingo supplies are, there's a handful of office supplies, but a bulk of that $2,000 is the cost to buy the bingo papers. So if we were on a cash basis for January for the bingo account, we would have profited a net of $1,082.66. February's income for bingo total $18,761.55. Bingo brought in $15,140.75. The kitchen and soda machine $3,620.80. Expenses were $24,813.82. Kitchen supplies, which is the food, was $2,608.12. Taxes were $6,527.54. And I misspoke on the January taxes. So the taxes, $3,615, I thought that was off. So the taxes that I mentioned in January, the $3,615.30, that was your property and your property taxes that we pay with Kitsap County. And normally the general fund pays for those, but because we didn't have any money in the general fund, I paid for it out of the bingo account. So that's what that was for. I thought that was kind of odd. So the taxes for February, $6,527.51. That is your fourth quarter taxes that are due at the end. It's due February 1st, and so it cleared the account in February. So that's where those numbers are coming from. And that is pretty standard every quarter that you guys pay. The more you make, the more we pay, and the more you pay your employees, the more we pay the taxes. So about $6,500 a quarter is what you're going to be paying in taxes. Payroll, $11,677.20 for February. There was no transfer that in February to any accounts. There was one payout of $400 in the bingo account. Janitorial supplies, $97.84. Bingo supplies, $1,456.29. Again, that's the paper, bingo papers. Building maintenance, this is the audio wiring, microphone system. $2,046.86. If we were to be on a cash basis for that month of February for bingo, we would be in the hole $6,052.27. That's because we had taxes this month. So that's why we had taxes, and then we had the building maintenance expense, which is a little over 8,000. So if we didn't have those two, bingo would be profitable.
Blame it on the tax man.
Yeah, right. I mean, yeah. So I'm not too concerned with those numbers there.
Yeah.
Let's see, raffle account is doing really good, short and sweet. So balance as of today in the raffle account is $672.63. We opened up the account in December of 2022. We used $250 from the bingo account to open up that account. I just transferred today that $250 back into the bingo account. So that way everything in the raffle account is 100% raffle money. February's income, we didn't have any January income or expenses. February income was $702.50, but we had expenses of $196.37, and that is the amount it costs to get checks and deposit slips. So net profit for February was $506.13. Any questions on the raffle or general account or bingo account?
On the raffle account,
Mm-hmm.
is that the 50/50?
That is the city, sorry, wrong job. That is the club's profit. So the 50 was already paid out, so that is the profit.
So that is the 50/50. That's what I was wondering if they'd actually started that or not.
Oh, they did. Yeah, and I'm sure either Shonda or Teresa can give you the details of it. I just know I'm just reporting on the deposits.
That's fine. I just was wondering if they'd started it.
Yes.
Yep, they did in February.
Okay.
Actually mid-February, I believe, mid to late February. So
So
that's
much
pretty
needed.
good. Yeah, $700 in a couple weeks. That's pretty good. So the goal what you will see at your April's membership meeting is a first quarter income and expense. You'll also get a side-by-side as to where we are on our budget year to date compared to our income and expenses to see if we're on target, or if we're over, or if we're under, and where we need to make some adjustments. So you'll see those at the April meeting for the first quarter of where we're at. On my task list is to, I believe at the last membership meeting, I was tasked with, it was either the membership or the board meeting, to be tasked with working with an accountant to see what is the best option for the club for our CDs or our money market accounts, maybe to get it out of the bank that we're at right now and go into a credit union. And so it's on my list to get a hold of Kim Sterling and have her help us with that. So that will be reported on at the April's meeting. The other thing, when I re-looked at the Kitsap Bank statements, the dates that I was referring to that says, hey, we're up, so we may want to, before we renew these, we might want to look at reinvesting. Those dates that I reported was the actual next date of the interest that was going to be earned, not the date that the CD was up. So we have some time.
Oh,
So
good.
Yeah, that was good news when I looked at that. So
We don't have a deadline breathing down our necks. That's good to know.
yes. So there is that. And then the other long-term standing task is to work with Department of Revenue, which works with Kitsap County to help us as a nonprofit get relief on our property taxes. So those are the two things that I'm working on. And hopefully we'll have something to you in April or May on that piece. In the meantime, I am finalizing the 2022 numbers and categorizing them in the categories that you guys like to see and report on, and then also give them to our accountant. I am hopeful that I can get all the numbers to them here in the next 2 weeks, so that way we can get our taxes filed for 2022. I think that's all I have, unless you guys want to, CD balance. $222,769.55 was what I reported to you last month. I did receive 2 statements of interest earned, and we have 1, 2, 30, 40. We have about $42 more than that. So apologize, I didn't get that updated before tonight, but we are we have about 40 more bucks of our interest into our CDs at this time, and you'll get a more formal updated version of our CDs at the next meeting. Any questions?
This is Rex Tauscher. I just personally took out CDs at Kitsap Bank, 3.75% interest rate. Probably the highest, even more than the credit union.
Oh, really?
The credit union is 4.
It was a special one that just closed on Friday.
The
So I don't know.
credit union was 4.5 and Navy Federal was 5.0.
Yeah, right now we're at 0.25% on one and 0.8% on another is what we're doing right now, but I'll find out what the current rate is that we're getting on the CDs that are coming up for renewal. I'll report that on April too, so that way you guys can see what current rate we're getting and what rates we can get if we were to move those monies in a future month when they get ready to expire.
They're all changing rapidly.
Yeah.
For sure.
We can buy the stock market.
All right. Excellent. Anything else? Any other questions for the treasurer?
Did we have a total balance of club funds as of the end of February? Including bingo, general, and CDs? Do we have a net worth at that particular time?
I didn't do a grand total, but I can, if you give me a minute, I will give you that grand total.
Okay.
Okay.
File my calculator here. Okay, so we'll walk through the, do you want including the CDs?
Yes, please.
Okay. So let me add the, oh, come on, calculator. So I'm going to add the 2 interests that we received of $16.52 for the one CD. And then the other one, $27.44. We're going to add the 2. The $222,769.55. And then we're going to add the raffle account balance of $672.63. Then we are going to add the bingo account balance of $25,191.25. With the final general bingo account balance of $6,638.28. Gives us a total club net worth of $255,315.67.
Okay.
All
Thank
right,
you.
and I'll remember to put that in the total net worth next time.
That doesn't include the working capital in the floor safe, does it?
It does not. So the
Okay.
working capital would be 1,000 for the kitchen bingo petty cash, and then the 1,200 in for the bingo. I don't know, the papers, the bingo
Yeah.
for main bank. Yeah. So that add another 2,200 for working capital.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Nope.
All right. We'll have a report of our committees. Finance Committee just reported. Remind us, what are your next projects with Finance Committee?
And then the finance committee, we will be having a audit. And that will be, I think, 5:30 on the, hold on. March 20th. So March 20th, before the board meeting, there'll be a finance committee meeting, which would be the audit.
Excellent. And what is, oh. And then bingo. Teresa, you there? Yeah, we don't have Teresa anymore. I don't know. Oh, she's not there anymore. All right. And public improvement. I can report that the community garden is in full swing. We are, if you can see down there during the day, we've got the land's been cleared and they are putting down hay, and they're going to be working with the Kitsap Conservation District to get an irrigation system set up using runoff from the roof for a rain garden. And yeah, we're very pleased with the folks taking charge of that particular project. We're going to start opening Viewpoint Park soon during the day. So we'll need actually talk to somebody today who may be joining the club and would like to volunteer. Just for the gate. Yep. Yeah, be able to open and close it at night. Anything else regarding public improvement?
I know Chris came over, giving me a.
Yes, yes, he did. Yeah, the floor is going to get fixed. We're looking forward to that.
Weekend, right, Sunday?
I'm not sure of the date. Yeah, we've also got an offer from Ace Handyman Services. They are looking to donate some of their services to the community for any projects where we will provide the materials. They will donate their labor. So we've also got that in the works. The door keypad over here is still having trouble. One of the handyman guys, he has a similar problem with this type of lock at his house. He knows what causes it. It has to do with the bolt, strain on the bolt because it's not finding the hole, so that it drains the battery very, very, very quickly. So for right now, we're just using keys.
I have one question on that door. They originally had panic bars on them for commercial type buildings and schools.
Yes.
There's no panic bar on that door now. Are we in violation of a safety code by not having a panic bar? All the rest of the doors have panic bars on, except that one, the one we normally use.
So yeah, we'd have to find out if that's a violation of anything safety wise.
We could probably have the people who do the fire inspection. They'll probably look at it and probably be able to tell us if we have another walkthrough.
Yeah. Okay. Do you know who to contact about that?
I have no idea. I just know that the door has been changed. Originally, all the doors had panic bars on.
Okay.
And that was one of the reasons there was a question about having this outside gate with a padlock on it, panic bar on the inside, so you still can't get out of the building. So that might be another violation.
Right.
But the reason we put the gate in is people were urinating and crapping in the entryway because it was sheltered. They weren't doing it in the rain. So I
Susie.
The chain was taken, you guys were gonna purchase the new one?
Ah, good point. Yes, we've already priced out. We're going to get a new chain. There's we knew that there would be a little bit of a back and forth, I guess you'd call it, with the community I hesitate to call it an arms race, but people would be pushing back, and we would figure out the best way to push back again. So we are working on a design where it'll be more secure to the pole, and we're also going with a square design for the chain, which is much harder to cut with bolt cutters. So push and push back. Let's see, anything else regarding building committee? Oh, we are currently collecting quotes from electricians for a panel upgrade and to improve a diagnostic as to why the parking lot lights are not consistently able to be turned on. So just looking into that, we're just getting quotes at this point. Then we've got, let's see, my committees list on here. I'm working off an old file, and I'm realizing now that the committees are all wrong. Who have we got next?
The Sunshine Committee had to step down.
Yes. Yeah, we've got the cards. Rose Gunsel has had to step down as Sunshine Committee chair. She's got too much going on. I don't think I'm at liberty to say, but if you know the Gunsel family, please keep them in your prayers. You might want to reach out to them and touch base. Yeah, they've got a lot going on. Let's see. Events. So we canceled the artisan market. We're looking for more activity. I found somebody for you guys today, and I referred them to Chandra. So I'm doing my introductions as I'm going around the community. We're getting more artisans in our marketplace. That's what it's all about.
And the next one will be the first weekend of June.
Oh, okay,
And then we'll do a marketplace in August.
excellent.
Why don't you combine, this is my thought, why don't you combine the artist market with an antique fair, half and half? And you could fill this place up, and not just have, not just have artisan. That way you're gonna have enough to fill the place up.
Well, the problem was, for this weekend anyway, was the weather was kind of crazy. They didn't know what was going to happen because there was predicted snow and it was awfully cold. So that's why they decided, and we only had 7 vendors.
Right.
And the next artisan market is the first weekend of June.
Yeah, I don't think the weather's going to be a problem for that one.
We usually get a lot of artisans for that. But we're for the first weekend of August, we're doing a marketplace where like the multi-level marketing can come in and not just artisan.
Yeah.
So that would be the one where we get the antiques, could probably get the antiques. And we're talking about, we haven't finalized, but having some kind of an activity outside, or having it inside and outside for the marketplace. But that, it's still in the works. But yeah, that's a good idea.
Yep.
And it's antiques.
Yeah, go back in and, I'd come in and put a few tables in, if you're gonna set up an antique, I have a lot of stuff to go sell. And I'm sure there's other people, I know Cheryl would probably be able to put some stuff in, and there's other people that would buy tables, and if you went and split it half and half, you probably have a chance of filling everything here, and the more you fill, the more people have interest, the more people have interest, the more you fill.
Because you have to remember that if you have an inside and outside both, the parking lot's gonna be restricted, or it's gonna be dangerous for people to be out there you're gonna have to put barricades or something up to set off areas just for the outside stuff.
It's still in the process.
Yeah, I think that's one thing to consider.
All right. Anything else regarding events?
One of the things that we had talked about last week, last general meeting, Saturday is when we have potluck, get-togethers. instead of having a potluck, you have to go back up and, you know, have a meal that is sponsored and paid for by the club, and, you know, people come and would have a discount if you're a club member, open it to the community wide around here, you know, to be able to go back up, bingo players and all that. And we do that on Saturday evening, and that way, you know, we would be able to, and you had to have your, you know, reservations and payment in by, you know, Tuesday or Wednesday before, so we buy an appropriate amount of food. And I think it'd be something that allows the, you know, whole area around here to get it covered in it.
So another membership drive, is that what you're proposing?
Well, that's kind of like it's like an ongoing membership drive where you have, you know, food is, you know, one of the options.
Okay.
Well, no, in the past, we had a membership meeting or a thing at the China Sun Buffet. Are we having it this year?
Yes,
On
that's
which
the
month?
first weekend of April.
At what time?
I think it's 2:00, but I'm not positive.
And who's gonna
We'll
be
have to
the
track the president.
Who do we contact for if we're going?
I have to talk to Chandler about that
Okay.
because
Well, she can
she's
send it
taken
out.
over the events committee.
She can
Yeah.
send it- She can send it out, let everybody know.
Yeah,
But it's about time we had another newsletter come out anyway, so.
yeah, we'll let people know.
Also, we need to make sure that the newsletter goes out to all of the members on our membership list.
Yeah,
Whether
like I
it's
didn't
sent
get-
out hard copy or whatever.
Like I
Yes.
didn't get the finance thing. She said she sent it out to all of us.
I got mine, but
Yeah, I got mine through email.
Yeah, I checked my email, it wasn't there, and I checked my spam folder. It wasn't
Okay.
there either.
So you got a copy of the finance list?
Yeah.
Okay,
I need to-
Yeah, I didn't either, but I'm a board member.
so we need to check people's emails and make sure we have accurate information.
I do have one request also. For NARF, we got the 2 membership cards for the nonprofit. And they're marked on the card, one for the secretary and one for the president. The president is Bill Powers, and he sent his membership dues in separate. So I would like to change the presidents to the vice president.
Sure.
On the one part.
Basically, just give the vice president the card.
And
Yeah.
I'm also signed up for my own membership, so I didn't, I'm the treasurer, so,
That sounds good.
Just give it to 2 of the members, 2 of the board.
well,
members.
All right. Anything else regarding events? What do you got?
the grease filters in the hood. Are we going to replace the hood with the new one that's out in the furnace room? Or is it too expensive? The other question is, the fire suppression system is anchored to that hood. We would have to completely replace the fire suppression system if we replace the hood.
Yep.
The filters, the grease filters that are in there, they're sitting over in the sink now. In the past, we never put the grease filters in the sink because the grease goes down the sewer and plugs the sewer up, and we have to have the plumbers come out and snake 60 feet of sewer pipe to get them cleaned again. So,
All supposed to go into it.
well, the filters that are in there are the wrong size for the hood.
Uh-huh.
The other ones were thrown away that were in the office. I did do some searching on the internet for the correct filters for that particular hood. And I am going to Tacoma on the 18th of this month to Bar Greens in Ellington, which is the one we got all the supplies, commercial refrigerator and that before. And I can take a look and see if they've got the correct filters for that. And I'm not sure of the dimensions. I just took a measurement in there. It looks like they're 15 by 20.
Okay.
So I will take a look and see that they all range probably about anywhere between $22 to $55 per filter. There's 4, I guess. I'll take a look. I think there's 4 in there.
So we do have a new hood.
Yeah, but it's
The-
gonna cost
the-
a fortune to put it in.
Right. That's the issue that we've got right now is the cost to replace.
Are there any filter elements for the new hood? You know,
We can look.
you know, it's piled into the furnace room, so you can't really see what's there.
Right. We'll have to go through what we've already got.
Anyway, if I
Um,
can find the right filters for the old hood, so we have a backup. Reason we had two sets is that you have to pressure wash them. You don't want to pressure wash them into this drain because of the oil and grease getting down into the sewer. So you end up pressure washing it, straining the scum off, but putting it in the garbage can and sending it away.
Okay.
And then you could put the clean filters in the hood while the other ones are being cleaned. And then a month later, you can replace them with the cleaned ones and take the other ones and clean.
So at the moment, the board is in charge of building
Yeah.
issues. So I'm gonna ask Kayla to make a note of that, that it be put on the board agenda. We're
Well,
gonna
I
have to
have-
decide
when-
how to proceed.
Yeah, when she was washing them in the sink the other day when I was up here, I said, the filters out there, I had to put spacing bolts into the bottom of the filters to hold them up out of the grease pan because they're the wrong thickness. And the other ones don't fit in there properly with the fire suppression system. So you have to get the right filters for the hood. Because when they put the suppression system in, it was to the other type filter.
Right.
Anyway, just a
Okay.
point of interest.
So that's been noted for the board meeting.
Okay.
Let me see.
Board meeting is going to be before the 18th of this month.
It's after the 18th.
20th.
It's like this, oh, no, it is the
Yes,
17th.
No, it's just Sundays and 19th.
So it'd be the 20th.
I go to Tacoma on Friday. Take my Kia over to get it serviced before they steal it.
Yeah, 13th.
All right. And then publicity. So we're continuing with Valpak. It's been very effective in advertising for bingo and for our other events. So we're going to continue with the same quarterly Valpak spend that we've had.
I haven't had a ballot pack in, I don't know.
So it's a funny thing. I know the guy who runs Valpak. He's a friend of mine, Bron Harris. And Valpak has some means of knowing whether or not you open. Yes. And if someone doesn't open it frequently, they will discontinue mailing to that address.
I don't think they even mail it to post office boxes either. They mail it to street addresses,
Yeah.
but no post office.
Yeah.
You can go Valpak online, right?
Huh?
You can go Valpak online also, right?
I don't know anything about that.
No?
I just saw hard copies.
Yeah. So it's been a good value for us. We're going to continue using that.
Yeah.
Um,
One guy showed up for the garage sale.
Yep. So the next challenge we've got, once we have the publicity so that we have a regular flow of the public in here, then we're going to be trying to tap into how to convert members of the public into members of the club. And Greg, you got something you want to share? Says you're screen sharing. Greg, you're sharing your screen with us? Are you gonna check?
Can you hear me now?
Yep, can hear you.
Yeah, no, I'm not sure. I was pushing buttons and trying to get back in anyway, it's a long story. No, I don't need to share anything.
All right. Well, you have my sympathies. I know how that goes. All right. So this takes us to unfinished business. Since we don't have the we don't have the minutes of the last meeting, I don't know that what unfinished business would need to be addressed.
I do have one question. Do we have a current copy of the bylaws for the club, the ones that were updated?
Yeah,
Can I get a copy of?
sure.
If I remember right, there was a requirement for IRS nonprofit organizations to have a discontinuing of a nonprofit has to be written into the bylaws. And it's a requirement to be a 501c3 to have that statement in it. And I don't remember seeing it in the last, I know it was put in bylaws about 3 or 4 years ago. But I don't know if
It's in our letter of incorporation, because I looked at it once just out of curiosity.
make sure it's still in there.
Yes, a letter of incorporation says that the club no longer
Has to be
Yeah.
turned over to a
Right, all
like.
the money has to
Yeah.
go to and all that.
it has to go to another nonprofit. Has to go be spread amongst
Unless-
nonprofits. And the building will have to be in. It's got a list of
list of
all
them.
of those.
Yeah.
You know, but that's in our, that's in the letter of incorporation of nonprofit.
So we'll get you a copy and you can review that.
But it probably won't be in the bylaws. No. So it'd be the letter of incorporation.
Yeah, letter of incorporation for the West Side Improvement Nonprofit.
All right, I see a hand up. Chandra says there's a paragraph about that in the bylaws. Yes. Carol McLaren, I see, maybe you, no, you don't have a hand up. Okay. Kayla Sullivan, you have a hand up.
Yes, I was just looking back on the minutes from the previous meeting, and it did not look like there was any unfinished business that I could
Okay.
tell.
Excellent, excellent. Any new business? All right. Does that take us then?
Mr. President,
Yes, go ahead, Greg.
yeah. I apologize. I had all intentions of being there in person tonight, but it's been a long week already, and so I had to Zoom tonight, so I apologize.
Brother, you do not ever need to apologize to me for Zooming.
Okay,
I would be on Zoom if I did not live next door.
all right. And hello to everybody tonight.
Hey, Greg.
Yeah, I see you. All right.
All right. And so do we have any bills that need to be paid?
I have one more question.
All right, go ahead, Rex.
When we get nice weather, maybe by the 1st of May or so,
Mhm.
or do we want to restripe the parking lot again after it's been washed away from the last striping I did?
How about pressure washing it first?
Is running hose all over the place to do it.
Bertie,
I
why can't you?
I talked to a neighbor this morning
last time I
who
did a
does
little
pressure
repair over it.
washing. So we'll see if he joins the club. If he'll volunteer those services.
We'll have to double check the furnace room to see if the striping machine is still out there. Buried in one of the closets again.
Bertie,
It only takes 2 people to stripe the parking lot.
So do you have a date you want to do this?
When the weather gets nice and it's not wet. And if it's dry enough, you can blow it with a blower. You don't have to have a pressure washer. Because if you pressure wash it, that old asphalt up there will probably come up.
That's right, you destroy asphalt.
Yeah.
Unless you're really careful.
Any volunteers to help Rex do this?
I'm still alive by then.
That's the spirit.
Probably May.
So we'll have another membership meeting.
So
So
something to consider.
just something to consider.
And then we'll have to find out whether they make the inverted paint cans. Last time I had problem getting them because Lowe's only had one small case. So ended up having yellow and white.
I thought you said there was a company that you went with that spread the parking lot.
There's a guy that I was talking to this morning who does pressure washing, who's considering joining.
Well, no,
Yeah.
like mark out the like basketball.
We've just been painting over the old basketball lines and not worrying about it. Because there originally was a discussion that somebody was going to upgrade the basketball courts to make it usable for competition.
Yes,
But then it went out and there was other lines out there, so.
well, that was the
Foursquare.
basketball clinic,
Yeah.
and
That probably fell by the wayside.
yeah, the basketball clinic, COVID hit them hard too,
Yeah.
like everything else. So we have still been in touch with them, but they are not in a position to provide that service as they originally intended.
Are they still looking at putting the retaining net over the garden down below to keep the basketball from getting into the garden area?
Yes, actually, we've got the net. We just need to put it up.
That was one of the. I don't do ladders anymore. You probably need a extension ladder of some kind down there to do it.
I'll talk to Ace Handyman Services if that's something they would be willing to donate their handyman services for.
Tell you one thing though, because when the kids get up here, they crawl up the fence around the basketball hoods and you see them standing on the basketball hoops themselves, jumping up and down. So whatever you put up there might not stay very long. Especially when it's like netting like they got in the office.
All right. Anything else? All right. Anything else for the good and welfare of the club?
It's a drawing. Who's gonna be lucky?
Are we drawing? There's nobody that's running the draw.
Isn't.
Do we have anybody to, oh, wait, we've got comments here in the chat. Oh, Chandler says the fence has been bent upwards for someone to crawl underneath. She also notes that Amazon has inverted paint.
Depends if they're inverted paint that goes to this machine, because some of them will not work in that old machine.
Yeah. Well, you can
No, it's
check
a
that.
type of spray nozzle.
Yeah,
Just check it.
just check. So
They don't have it out now and don't do it probably till the weather. turns.
Chandra, do we have the ability to do the drawing? Or do we want to table that till next time too? We'll just do it twice.
Or go eeny, meeny, miny, moe.
She says, give me a minute.
One other problem. Won't do it.
I just put the $319 that I got for the rummage sale.
Yeah.
To our Alzheimer's research.
That's good.
So it is in the account to be mailed to Alzheimer's
There's some promising,
Illinois.
there's some promising things coming out with Alzheimer's dementia. You know, some, drugs and processes.
Except for the price of it,
Yeah,
for what value it is.
yeah, well, that's the thing, but at least there's some things being worked at. Whoever gets it will make a very big amount of money.
Stuff that's being checked right now in order to use it, probably costs you about $8,000 a month. Chance of it working is very minimal. Still haven't been able to get a hold of the fire extinguisher people to get another sign like that's on top
Oh.
of that one. To go on this one over here, there's no fire extinguisher, so sign on this one.
There's two over there.
And
So another, there is something that we need to mention that we need people on Wednesdays to not park in the upper lot. We've had folks at NARF and other events where they've blocked access to the dumpsters. So Waste Management has not been able to pick up the waste and manage it.
I was made aware of that by the bingo manager. We had one of our individuals parked on that site. I was in here setting it all up. And I guess at the same time when I was doing that, they pulled in, parked and came in for our business meeting. And that's when the garbage truck came.
Kayla? Do we have the wheel?
Yes, it looks like I am able to do that.
All right. Are you able to share screen just so we have the effect?
I'm not sure because the meeting is on my tablet and I have this up on my computer. But
Oh, okay.
but
That's fine. We'll take
maybe
your
I
word
could
for it.
try to though.
We
You don't
trust
draw
you.
Your name.
Oh,
Yes.
I wouldn't, yeah, I wouldn't. Okay, so let's see.
We got all-
Looks like Kat Wiseman.
Cat Wiseman's not here.
not online either, right?
There's only 6 people online. with it, so.
Okay, so then we'll do it
Strike
again.
one.
Okay. All right.
Save those names for the next
Newsletter.
news or minutes for the meeting. That way the people know
Stephen
that they weren't there to be drawn.
Christensen.
Steve Christensen.
No, not here.
Not here.
Strike two.
We'll let him know next time we see him.
Oh yeah, we'll be
Let-
definitely be
Let
bugging
Don
Steve about that.
Direct
Okay. Try again.
tell it.
Marilyn Schlingling.
I agree.
Strike three.
We're all-
Wow.
No winners this time.
Okay.
If you put it into the minutes and send it out to all the members, then they can see who didn't win.
Yep.
And if you made a drawing
Sounds
previous
good.
meeting and it didn't get into the,
Oh, they won last.
well, the news, I actually put it in the newsletter too.
Was
So
it,
Yeah.
that people know.
was it you, Susie, that won last week? No. Okay, somebody here.
Well, because it's not gonna take anything off of us financially to send it out to all the members
That's right.
Yep.
for the general one.
Mhm.
And then to list who the drawings were or who
Who
did
won
not.
and who didn't win?
Strike three, we're out.
All right.
I move that we adjourn the meeting.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Seeing no disagreement, motion carries. We are adjourned. Thank you all.
Did we get total membership report for last month,
Last I heard we were at
48?